realize one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Do you have an upcoming event? Well, I encourage you to book Beyond Defense Family for an amazing experience. Beyond Defense is a talented group of men and women who have toured the world to display their talents of song and ministry. Did I forget to mention multi-award winners? They're your one-stop shop for making your event the best in the city. Book Beyond Defense today at beyonddefense.org. Click Menu, then Contact. Beyond Defense, your audience will thank you.
Beyond the fence. Beyond the fence. Beyond the fence. Beyond the fence. Benton. DB Juniors. Yes, sir. I got you. Truto. You know I got you. The Jewel. Broski, you know I had to fly in on this one. G. Will. You know what it is. You see coming like this, didn't you? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. My problem, God slaughtered them all, the harder I ball. Fighting like a scared cat, with her back against the wall. Slip, but I didn't fall. I adapted to the fall. Ignorance, I've been through it. That's why I don't want you to do it. I want to influence, since I already proven. You can be feeling but you just come at the end of the ruin. Who are we fooling? What are we proving? What are we doing? What are we building? What are we giving to some of our children? Build a team, not just the industry thing. We do more than this rapper scene. Beyond the fence, the family tree with the queen. We choose to worship with the king. And we protect the women by any means. And our children on everything.
Through the years, I want my own fight, no lie. Thinking everything is alright. Turn around and see my father in the light. Back in 03, that changed my whole life. Deceiving, one brother, one mother believing. No fun on the life I'm weeping. They say things happen for a reason. I'm believing, we're fleeing. Still opportunity life I'm bleeding. I'm in the probation thinking. Structures in my life do need it. Same friends up and down, can't see it. Send it back to the past, I leave it. I'm a dance of mind, I'm pleased with fresh reciprocal craftsman meeting. A bird homies out in the heated. Said I'm a loser, I said that I'm meaning. I'm independent, I'm left with a cheater. That's fine, I'm not what's loyal to. Was needed, but Colorado on still. Receive but never stops. And I know I keep preaching once I swap. I never will be this smooth the floor. I won't be defeated.
Swag so magnificent due to the omnipotent. Yes, you know it's heaven sent. Call me George Jefferson. I'm walking in your glory if I keep my eyes focusing. Never turn away from the one who first loved me, man. I go by G. Will. I'm in the building, man. Good looking on the head off the game, just advance. My focus so clearly beyond 2020. Thanks to BDF, there's a new addition to the family.
What I got in my music, principle, purpose, so much that they use it. Bruise it, to prove it, no way that I'm losing. Something I do, supposed to delusion. The BDF revolution. Wake up, ain't no more illusion. Concept to the union, we appreciate your contribution. Awaken us, nigga, time to find our bad it hurts. Conduct with metal, touch it, fire, bring it together for the better men. Bring it together, be better men. All of the people in children. Graduate old school veterans. Take over the nation, Taliban. Hold up the world with one hand. Shoot through the vision, it's intense. Looking at what the beyond is.
We are beyond the fence. We are beyond the fence.
With this one, I've seen I've been drafted. Armor's been fitted and heavily crafted. Run to the battle through power, I blast. I do this for real, pretend it's a strategy. Do this a classic. Read the back of the book, there's a test and I easily pass it. All the sacrifice of training, the blood and the tears while I laugh it. Yeah, I'm a cast. I wanna speed it up. The label say slow it down. I skip my medication, tripolars traveling the speed of sound. I'm lost and now I'm found. Love you on the way up and they hate you on the way down. And it's never about the setting, it's the jewels that's in your crown. Judge.
We are beyond the fence.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio. And you better be smiling.
Beyond the fence is in the building.
Hey.
yes. Welcome to another wonderful Sunday right here on Beyond the Radio. And this is your main man, David Benton, and I am in the building. And yes, I am smiling. I have every reason to smile. Yes. And shout out to the Elation family. Thank you for keeping the whole network in prayer. I know we covered. So I'm going to get straight to the show because we got a great show for tonight. Yes, we do. So, Cherry Truto Allen, are you in the building?
I'm in the building.
Hey.
What's up,
What's
y'all?
going on, brother? What's going on?
Oh, man, I'm still full, bro.
Yeah, man.
Good, wonderful turkey days, man. Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So, did you do some cooking?
I didn't do no cooking this year. The wife and the rest of the family did all the cooking. I did all the eating this year. I took over the eating part.
Well, I understand. Well, you cook all year. Every time I talk to you, man, you're cooking something. So that was your day to rest and just eat. So I feel that. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. So if you still full, I know you are smiling.
Yes, man. Smiling from ear to ear.
Yes, sir. Man, let's get to it, man, because we got a good topic for tonight, man. I'm excited for tonight, man. I had a weekend, but I got to get the next person on before I get about the weekend. So, Shay Samuels, are you in the building?
Shay Samuels. I love my sister. Shay Samuels is in the building, and yes, I'm smiling.
Hey, Shay.
Yes. Hey, Shay. I got to talk about this beautiful weekend. Man, it was awesome. The Black I Am Awards, the Blue Rose Bistro. Man, we went to the studio. But Shay, please talk to us because I can go on the whole show about this.
Oh, well, like you said, it was just an amazing time this weekend, starting with Friday. BDF is always growing. I mean, just as a family, we're growing. Artists, we're growing. We're always looking to expand our territory. So we met with a production team this past weekend. Shout out to Rodney with Rich Productions. Let me tell you, just watching David and Rodney go in the way that they did, just, you see that founder, that CEO, you know what I mean, come out of him. So, David, shout out to you because you're always looking for Beyond the Fence and Beyond the Radio to grow. And then on Saturday morning, we didn't stop, y'all. We were there all night, and we woke up on Saturday morning and went to the Blue Rose Bistro, and literally, David knocked it out the park. Y'all, please go to the Facebook Beyond the Fence Entertainment and like and subscribe, and you will see all of the videos there. I mean, we basically had a trail where people were just trying to track us down this weekend. David, what are they doing next? So we did Blue Rose Bistro, and then off to Black I Am Awards that same day. The Black I Am Awards, shout out to Black. And I'm going to hand it back over to you because you're well versed at what went on that day. I was just really excited to be a part of something new. So shout out to Dr. Angela and her team, Black People United, or Unite. I mean, literally, I was just happy to be a part of a new experience. As men and women of God, there's so many different levels to this being on this earth. And I love that, I got a chance to be able to take a part of other elements. We get so locked in a box. And so, David, I'm going to hand it back over to you. But every time I get a chance to experience something new, it takes me further outside of the box. And I think last night really allowed me to do that. So, yes, I'm going to hand it back over to you, Black I Am Award.
Yes. Like you said, Shay, shout out to Dr. Angela. Man, it's a beautiful thing, man. We had a star-studded cast, man. Shout out to Tony Terry. When I'm with you, Hey, hey, he got his whole
I was about to
song.
go in.
He did it.
That makes me laugh and smile.
You know, I was cracking jokes on him in the back. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, listen, man, you ain't all that because you're bow-legged. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you know,
yes, he did.
Bow-legged and everything, Tony, man. But look, you ain't all like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I
he
said,
did.
plus I still got something against you. Because, see, my girlfriend, my girlfriend, back when I was like 15, 16-ish, you know, she had a huge crush on Tony Terry. And I'm like, man, forget Tony Terry, man. And I didn't really think I was going to meet the brother one day until I met the brother. So once I met him, that was my opportunity to check Tony Terry. That's right. I'm like, yeah, Tony. Yeah, you ain't like that because you bow-legged. Yeah. So what? You got a classic. That's all right. So what? You rich. I don't care about your $3 million.
Bring it back, David. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Come on back.
All right, and then after I asked him for a picture, and he took the picture with us, and I was like, yeah, you better take a picture with me.
Oh,
and Shay,
you know what?
Shay came in and talked about, don't forget me. And then I'm like, all right, man, we gotta take a picture.
I ran out there. I said, David left me. I ran out there, and I had to hurry up before he got in the car to get the picture. But you know what I loved about him? What I loved, David, was that, he's worth a lot of money. And I loved how humble he was walking amongst all of us. He didn't have to have 1 million bodyguards. He didn't have to, he was sitting out at the tables eating with us. He was just a regular being, and understanding his purpose. He was there to do a job, and he did it. But I really enjoyed the fact that amongst all of those people who were being honored, he knew who he was, and he honored those people. So shout out to Tony Terry.
He did. And you know what? What was wild for me was how I don't feel so bad anymore, because nobody is really like it. This man is like really an icon, and nobody seemed to notice too much. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't what we think. Like, everybody would just ask for autographs. And it was a star-studded cast, but it was so many more people there that really was famous. And man, everybody just treated everybody with respect. And for us to have the VIP table, they saw us, they carried us with that level of respect. And I seen how humble they were. Not just him, but Michi X. Michi X. Man, shout out to Michi X. She came, she sat at the table with us. Oh man, you and her.
I was going to say, they didn't hide away. There's so many artists out there now who, even on the independent level, where, we were kind of talking about it while we were sitting at the table, where when you know who you are, you don't have to put on airs. You don't really have to put anything else on. You don't have to dress a certain type of way. You don't have to, your hair doesn't have to be a certain type of way. You just know who you are. But I was really blessed to have her come and sit, because you would talk to me about her. And a lot of people were coming to her table, or coming to our table, just to acknowledge her. But she could have sat so far away from what she would have felt like these people aren't on my level, right? But she sat, she had to pull up the chair to sit at our table. And this was at the after party. This wasn't even during the event. So she really could have sat at any empty table.
Right. And the whole time, she was looking like she wanted to be over there at our table. Like, I'm coming over. I'm going over there.
So it's amazing. Hey. Yeah, it was amazing. It was so amazing. So again, I had a chance to experience something completely different and be introduced to a number of good people. Not, and I don't want to say different people, good people. So I'm excited. So David, thank you again for that opportunity as well.
Oh man, the honor was all mine. The pleasure was all mine. And it was a beautiful thing, man. Shout out to Grandmaster Jay. Oh man, the head of the NFAC. He was there. Oh man, it was don't no one know amazing, humble.
Oh
my God, man! Why the people who really have it so humble? Oh my God, they so humble.
Yeah, we came in, David. We pulled in that parking lot, Truto. Elation's family, those of you who are listening, we pulled into that parking lot, and when I say this parking lot was full of men with rifles, and they were there to protect the cause. They were there to protect the cause. And if nobody felt comforted in that, I mean, they were all over this parking lot area with much respect. I heard that the police came and they were trying to figure out what was going on. But guess what? Not only did we have the event, we had the after party as well. But just, again, to hear this man speak, and you know what I loved about him speaking is it sounds just like our founder, right? So I was so blessed to be able to have an opportunity to kind of have a heads up on who this man was and who the people around me are. And so, listen, as leaders, I would encourage you guys to continue to educate, and I say your sheep, but those who are under you. And those who are under the leaders, make sure that you take heed to what the leaders are talking about. One thing that Grandmaster Jay said, now, David will laugh at me because Truto, and you'll laugh at me too, because when I first got the information about Grandmaster Jay coming, I was like, oh, yeah, Run DMC, Grandmaster Jay.
Oh, no. I know you did.
And David's like, he's gone. He passed away a long time ago. But here's the thing. Yeah, it was kind of funny, but when I first got the word that he was coming, this is what he said there. He said that our purpose is like pieces of a puzzle. He said, I never thought that I would be where I am today, but as I was growing, there were pieces of the puzzle of my purpose that would come to me, and I would never know how to use those pieces. I would never know what to do with those pieces. And he said, and then the day came where he had to make a move, and all of it made sense. And so that's how it is. I promise you, teaching under David and learning and growing and all of that, I promise you, just sitting there were things that he said. He said, if you're my family, listen, if David never sent me any of those videos, I would not have ever known what to say. So I personally felt like a part of family because he said it. He said, if you are my family, you know what I'm about to say next. And he did his spiel that he does for every video, and it was a blessing for me to be able to know that. So, again, thank you, David.
Hey, thank you. Like I said, Shay, the honor was all mine. It's just to see, like they say that, blacks can't conduct themselves, and just to see over 300 blacks and around like 100 black women and men out there armed to protect us, not to cause harm, life and legal. This man, people don't know that Grandmaster Jay was on the ballot, but some things happened politically. He says it on his Facts Over Feelings podcast. He explained it, and it was like, wow. But he was trying to run for president, and because of politics, he wasn't with the status quo, so he didn't get to go ahead and run, but he definitely made a strong attempt at it. And this brother is definitely a brilliant brother. He's a loving guy, and just to have the opportunity to meet him, meet you, X, it definitely was a privilege for me, and I'm definitely closer to them than I ever thought I would be. And Shay, that story. I can't say that story, that part right now, but I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful. And really, I wanted to talk about what that really. It's really what our subject tonight, for real. And I'm gonna pass that to you, Shay, because it kind of coincides a little bit. So if you want to go ahead and start our topic.
Yes. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, Your main man, David Benton, is in the building. Jerry Truto Allen's in the building. And I, Shay Samuels, one of the co-hosts, we're in the building. Tonight we're going to be talking about churchgoers. You know, I called David a few weeks ago, and I was asking him a question, and I just sent him a text like afterwards, and I said, does it mean because you go to church that you are a good person? Does going to church mean that you are a good person? And to be honest, guys, I said this in so many different ways, like, does going to church mean you're a good person? Does going to church mean that you are a good person? It's so many different ways that you could say it. But to be honest with you, we talk about it so much on this show. We talk about, we have people who come on and, you know, they believe God and they have faith and they have, you know, they always talk about the faith being the size of a mustard seed. Everyone has a testimony, and yet there's so many different things that we kind of lose focus on. But does going to church mean that we are actually good people? And so I wanted to drive that home tonight. We've been talking about a number of things over the course of the week, of weeks. But David and Truto, I do feel that this is one of those topics that will drive every single thing that we've been talking about home, because it all stems from going within the four walls. Now, some people would say, well, the church is outside of the four walls now. The church is outside the four walls, and, you know, we're going out into the communities. Ministry starts at home. Everyone says the same thing. But when you walk in that four walls and you have your heels on and your laced-up stockings and your pencil skirt and your big bow shirt and your hat and gloves, all of that makes you feel good. As a male, if you're a male who like to get tuxedoed down or dressed down with the Truto, you know, like the little steel toe thing on the tip of the shoe. on the tip of the shoe. You know, as I was studying for this, I was thinking to myself how church has actually become an entertainment center. It's become focused on the lights, the cameras, the action, the smoke screen. And we're not really getting down to the nitty-gritty of the good. And so, Truto, I'm just going to, before I go into the scripture, I really just want to ask you, does going to church mean that you're a good person?
Ooh, for me, I would say no, it doesn't. I always kind of look at church going and I kind of make people laugh. When I was young and I was a child, I went to church because Mama said, if you don't get up and get ready for church, boy, Geraldine, I'm going to go upside your head. And so it was more of a routine. You know, this morning, you go to church. That's what we do in this house. And as the years went by, I got older and grew up. And, you know how the old folks say, I started smelling myself, started, you know, looking how I am, you know. So I turned away from the church. I really wasn't going to church as much as I had. And at one time, just really wasn't going at all. And when I decided myself that I'm going back to church. You know, I went, and the church was different to me when I chose. You know, like the song you sing, I choose to worship. When I chose to really want to go to church myself, church was different to me then because I went in there looking for something. I wanted to be a better person. I wanted my behavior. I wanted my behavior to be better. You know, learn, you know, do better with my attitude, work stronger on my moral compass, as we would say. So I think with going to church with the right type of purpose in mind and looking for like a mind change, you can become a good person. I just don't believe me attending the church building makes me a good person.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I'm going to read out of Colossians 3. This is 14 to 15. It says, above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds us all together in perfect harmony, and let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. For as a member of one body, you were called to live in peace and always be thankful. So one of my favorite scriptures, make love your highest priority. So it really does start with what you said, Truto, and David, I'm gonna bring it over to you. But the part that stuck out to me, it says, above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds us all together in perfect harmony. And so love can happen, and I'm not saying don't go inside the four walls, but I'm going to just say this, as a praise and worship leader, when I was going to church full time, I'm going to say when I was going to church full time, as a praise and worship leader, I would encourage people to already come expecting. I should never have to drive home a worship song in order for you to just fall out on the floor. You should have already been doing that before you walk through the door. All I'm doing is just kind of, plowing the ground, right, as a worship leader. Right. But, David, this scripture says, above all, clothe yourself with love, which binds us all together in perfect harmony. And you talk a lot about love. So does going to church make you a good person?
First, I do want to say this. It's a blessing to have this topic because I remember, Shay, you really brought this topic up like maybe a week or two ago, and we didn't use this topic because we had a guest. So I think this is just the best time to have this topic. Because we was like, well, we with this type of topic, we don't need a guest. I'm not even sure if we need a music break. I mean, because there's so much to talk about. I mean, I'm so serious. Like, should we have a music break? I mean, should we?
Wow.
Because it's so much. It's so much.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a music. Do we need one? I don't think we need a music break. I really don't.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, no music break tonight. No music break. So, when it comes to, all right, let's start back to in the beginning of the Colossians chapter 3, because this is actually my favorite chapter. It's my favorite chapter, and I literally almost know the whole thing word for word through the NIV. And it says, since then you have been raised with Christ, set your hearts on things above where Christ is seated to the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. You have died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you will also appear with him in glory. So put to death, therefore, to your earthly nature. Then it starts talking about sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, greed, which is idolatry. Because of these things, the wrath of God is coming. You used to walk in these ways in the life you once lived, but now you must also get rid of yourself for all such things as these. Now, I think we focused on the first ones. I think people focus on, well, my earthly nature. I don't do sexual immorality, impurity. I'm not lustful. I don't have evil desires and greed and idolatry. I'm a man or a woman of God. But watch this. They don't focus on these. But watch this. It said, but now you must also get rid yourselves of all such things as these. Watch this. Anger, rage, malice, slander, filthy language from your lips. Now, let's talk about the filthy language from your lips. The filthy language has absolutely nothing to do with profane language, because somebody can really say something that's profane but still use it as a like, let's use our common sense. Let's be mature. Someone can say profanity and still build you up or give you props and say something endearing to you. Like, they really can. Like, let's be realistic. And so filthy communication is just telling someone, you know what, you're never going to amount to anything. That's filthy. That's filthy. You get on my nerves. I can't stand you. I can't stand these people. When you having road rage, stupid. What you do? You're dumb. You can't drive. That's why I hate these people. They can't drive. They get on my nerves. I hate my job. You're saying God bless you with the job, and you hate the job. That's filthy communication. We don't understand how we can use our words, and we don't care about. We quick to get angry. In the Bible, clearly says, be swift to listen and slow to wrath, but to slow to get angry. But guess what we do? We get angry. We get angry so quick nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to understand like the value of the church. Why it was even put in position. And I think when we focus on why the church is the church itself, we have to understand that each individual, guess why we really go to church? So we can get ourselves together. But we so focused on getting everybody else together. If you're not Jesus himself, if you're not Jesus himself, then and the Bible says we all. Now hold on, it didn't say some. It said we all. I said it didn't say some. It said we all fall short from the glory of God. Now, okay, that person may use profanity. Wow, you don't use profanity. You're awesome. Stop it. Because you still can be a rude person. You still can be a liar. There's so much in you that you know you need to work on. So we really got to understand when we go to church, it's for you to learn and grow and learn how to treat others with the same love, courtesy, and honor that you say that the Holy Spirit is using through you. So it does not, because I'm going to tell you what Jesus said. I said, let me tell you what Jesus said in the Bible. I always want to do that. I had to do that part. But Jesus did say this. They said, good teacher. Guess what he said? There's none good. So if we say there's none good, why we all act like we are so good? And not the I'm good, the one you talking about with your song. You explain the whole difference when you say I'm good, Shay, in your song I'm good. It's a whole different I'm good. We think that we're just so awesome. We're so great that we have no room for error in our lives, that we could just chastise another one. And we take the power away from God, because the Bible clearly says God, not you, but God chastised those he loves so they won't be condemned with the world. I said the Bible said that God chastised those he loves so they won't be condemned with the world. When we go to church, when I go to church, I have to focus on David Benton, because I know David Benton have many imperfections that I need to work on. I will correct when they're in my company, because it can affect me. If it can affect me, like if someone is selling drugs, why would I allow them to be in my space when I know that it can affect me? What they do can cause harm to me, conspiracy. If you carrying weapons illegally, that can affect me. It can affect me. Everything you do can affect me, though, and we have to realize that. But Shay, back to you, Shay. I mean, but no, I definitely don't believe that just because you go to church, you're a good person.
You know, what you were saying, David, was really good, too, is as a segue to what I was going to say. You know, to be honest with you, you know, going to church does not make you a better person. I think Truto kind of alluded to it as well, that it has to start with yourself, right? So I think it's like, you know, and I'm going to use this as an example just because some people go to therapy, right? Going to a counselor can make you a better person, because their person is getting you to be accountable for your actions, and you get a chance to talk and you get a chance to heal. And that can also be an avenue to make you a better person. For someone going through a 12-step program, that also can allow you to be a better person, because you're having to forgive and you're having to go, you know, through these 12 steps in order for you to become a better person. When I did my research on this, and the reason I did it is because I really wanted to get back to, like, what was the church actually created for, right? Because we have all these different reasons for going to church, but then sometimes these reasons can actually obscure what it's really created for, right? And so just in some of my research when I was doing it, it was talking about the church being a place where people could be fed and nourished, whether it be food or word, and to develop into spiritual maturity. And David, you and I just did something. We did the taping for the Red Room a few weeks ago, I think last week, and we were talking about community in church, and so here we are now where we've gotten to the point in church, and I'm talking about the four words because the Bible does say that we are the church. Let's start there. The Bible says that we are the church, right? And so we're talking about the four walls. If you are going into the four walls, you realize a lot more people come out hurt than they do healed. Have you both realized that? More people go into the four walls hurt rather than healed. And so going back to the person who's leading, and this is not to degrade church, the four walls, and I keep saying the four walls because, again, the Bible clearly says that we are the church. So I'm saying the four walls because there's so many different personalities and individuals, even from the perspective of being a leader. If you haven't dealt with your own hurt, you haven't dealt with your own sin, if you haven't dealt with the things that if you haven't healed, then, they always talk about what you spit up on other people, and so hurt continues to breed hurt. So you don't come out healed. You don't come out, you come out just as broken. And then here's what happens. You go to another church, the four walls. And then if you can't identify with you actually being the church and that healing can take place, I'm a transparent individual, so I'm going to say this, and I've said this before, probably a few years ago. When I stopped going to church full time, it wasn't because I was hurt. It was because there weren't any good people there. And I realized that me going to another church was only, thank you. I realized that me going to another church, I was only going to find the same thing. So I realized that I could not be taught, and David, that's why I said what I said to you in the beginning, because when you have a leader who can teach you something to better you, the results of you become better.
Yes.
But then as you begin to guide yourself to truth, guess what happens? Fruit comes out of it. So what I experienced on Saturday, you might have said it, but guess what? There are other people out there who are doing the same thing, saying the same thing. And then for what these men did on the outside, these men sat outside, and I mean it was late, guys, with these guns protecting their people. They were protecting
their life on
the
the line.
cause.
In real life.
They're putting their lives
really
on the line.
Their life on the line. Yes.
And here's what happened. People saw them as bad people.
Yes.
The people who were coming in, the people who called the police, now we're getting to a point where we don't even identify with real protection because we've been so numb to the hurt. So I go back to what I was saying. The church was initially set up for people to be fed, for people to be nourished, to people to fellowship with one another. It was set up as a ground for us to be able to fellowship with one another and to develop personal maturity. So, David, it goes back, and Truto, I'm going to come to you next, but it goes back to what we were talking about, where now is the time for us in the churches to start developing classes for financial knowledge, for development. We can preach a great word, but what comes out of that word when those people leave? Are they becoming good people because of it? Or can personal development happen like it did for me? It happened on my dining room table. I realized that I could not go to another church where I was being fed hurt, where I was being fed bitterness, where I was being fed from people who were unhealed themselves, and they consistently talked about it. For those people who were judgmental, for those people who weren't uplifting me, I sat at my dining room table every Saturday at 10 a.m., and I studied. And I realized that I personally, when making a decision to become a better person, became a better person. How do I know? My relationships got better. My relationship with my mother got better. I was able to identify with my errors, not hers and not what she did to me, but how I treated her. And then what the Bible tells me I should be and how I should be as her daughter. When I realized that I could become a better parent, when I realized that I could become a better friend, when I realized I could become a better employee, just little things like that, I started to really judge myself first. Truto, do you have those moments? I know that, you go to church full time. Do you have those moments in yourself where you actually realize, I can really just sit at my table. Maybe you are getting what you need to at church, but maybe sitting at home and being able to teach your family values, teaching your family what a good person, even by example, looks like. Or have you been able to identify with that type of good between church and home?
I tell you the truth. You sure know what to say, because I know it has been times, especially I always go back to my younger church time. I had a person tell me, ain't no such thing as church hurt. Yes, it is. I've been hurt. At my younger time going to church, I really was hurt. And I agree with you. There's been times where I could sit down and talk to my family about the Bible, and we all talk about God and have a more of a healing and lovable time than I would going to the church building. And it's sort of like I always say that balance. 80% of your life is not at church. You at work, you go through things at work, you go through things in your personal life, and then, okay, here's that 20%, here comes Sunday. And then I walk in there with that hurt, looking for a healing, but people who's translating that same hurt that I get, that 80% of the time, here it is at church as well. And it has been many times where I've been like, I get more joy calling David on the phone. He'll get at me on something and teach me about something, and I'll look at it, and then I'll go and talk to my family about it, and we'll laugh, and we'll start to pick up different knowledge of this and that, and Shay, you'll say something, and yes, there's been many times,
yeah,
and I always in my heart, because I grew up in the church, love singing, choir, stuff like that at my younger age. And it's been times where I've left the church more mad at leaving the church than I did when I left the club.
Right.
I left church. I'm like, man, I'm going to go get this, I'm going to do something. And I just left the house of worship. And even times where I've seen people in tears, and I've seen people brought to tears from the house of worship. And I always remember my pastor saying, he said, if I'm with this person 80% of the time, and I'm only with this other person 20% of the time, who's going to be the more influence on me? It's going to be the 80%. So when I'm not at church, I'm this type of person. I do this. I got bad behavior. I'm rude, very insulting, and I just get that 20% on
you make a good point. Truto, you make a good point. I had to cut you off because you make a good point. I'm sorry. But listen, so you have people who are going to the church every day. You have wives who are going to church every day, catering to the pastor at least 98% of their week. They are cleaning the church before they're cleaning home. They're cooking, but they're cooking to take it to the church as opposed to taking care of the home. And then the pastor is not teaching the wife, or the pastor's wife is not teaching the wife that you have to take care of home first. And again, we're not here to bash the actual church, but the next segment of this is how do we overcome that? So we know now, David, that church doesn't make you a good person. Going to church doesn't make you a good person. But the Bible says that we are the church. So now how do we get over into how do we become a good person? You kind of touched on it a little bit at the beginning, but how do we get to that?
I definitely want to hit on this. I've been waiting because I want to finish Colossians. I stopped because I didn't want to go into that part because I could have went to 11 o'clock. So it say now and then after they say 50 language from your list, it say do not lie to each other since you have taken off your old self, which is practices. That's just who you are, right? It said now and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge in the image of its creator. Now, we always say we're made in his image and his likeness. Well, you first got to come and get the education. You got to be educated on who your creator is. And when you start getting the education on who your creator is, then you will understand that even in the book of Job, when Satan came with the to the heavens with the angels, God said, "I rebuke you. Go back to hell where you came from. I hate you." He said, "What's up, Satan? What's happening?" And Satan was like, "Man, I'm just going to and fro, doing what I do." And God so calm because God know who God is. Like, hey, what about my servant Job? There's no one like him on the earth. And Satan was like, hey, man, you do everything for him. Of course he's going to serve you, but take it all from him. I guarantee you, curse you to your very face. You know what I'm saying? Curse your name. So God didn't panic because God know who God is. When you know who you are, you're not going to panic when you see, well, and these are air quotes, the adversary spirit of another person. See, the thing is, we have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge. You have to know. That's all knowledge is, to know. And I think the biggest problem is we really don't know. We really don't have that knowledge of God. Because, see, in verse 11, it say, here there is no Gentile or Jew, circumcised or uncircumcised, barbarian, slave or free. But Christ is all and in all. So, watch this. Therefore, God chosen people, holy, dearly beloved, clothe yourself with, watch, compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, which is long-suffering. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you have a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgives you. But think about it. That's if you have a disagreement and they have wronged you. Not because they have imperfections, because we all have imperfections. When I was incarcerated, we didn't have time to beat each other up about our cases. Let me tell you why. Because we was all in there for disobeying the law. We was all in there for disobeying. Whether you was a drug dealer, you just had a gun charge, whether you was a child molester, even though we hated it, a rape charge, even though we hated it. The rapist might say, well, man, look, you still shot that guy. So, okay, I raped the woman. You killed 2 people. Hey, man, you suck too. Hey, man, that guy hurt that little girl. But, hey, man, you sold poison to your community, man. So a lot of people died because they killed people and they stole and they robbed trying to get the drugs that you sold. So you get what I'm saying? So we didn't point fingers. In this type of atmosphere, what we have to do, when you have that full knowledge of who you are, and when you have full knowledge of self, you'll realize, man, I have a long ways to go. And I think I'm going to always have a long ways to go for the rest of my life. Even though I see things wrong with another individual, only thing is, I used to play basketball. And as a point guard, I have a center. I have a forward. I have a shooting guard. I can't get mad at the center because he don't dribble like me. But what I will do is help him be better at his center position. Tell him what I need from him so we can win the game as a team, as a family. But if I continue to tell him, man, you can't dribble, you can't shoot, you suck. You can't shoot threes. Well, his job is really not to shoot threes. Our job is to win the game together, but I got to get myself right as the individual before I say, all right, team, let's do it. The only way they're going to listen to me and respect me is when they see my work ethic. They see me working hard. They see me going hard in practice. They see me doing motivating instead of putting down. And I think that's the biggest issue. When we come in, we all have to understand we all are flawed up. And I say this because we all disagree with how we look at the world. We're not going to agree on everything because everybody have their own lenses, the way they see the world. Some people are far-sighted. Some people are nearsighted. Some people are 20/20. Some people are 20/30, 25-something. Everybody is different. Some are blind.
Yeah.
Some people don't have no vision. They're blind.
Yeah.
But guess what? They still feel the world. In their mind, they see it from a different perspective. Only their brains, they can't imagine it. I mean, they can't really see the reality of what we see because we actually see it. But they can conjure it up in their mind. Their mind can take them the way they can touch it and it's shaped a certain way. They can see that they can just put a picture in their mind, even though that may not be how it really is. Think about it. They don't really look like we do. So when you understand you as an individual and the way you see the world and respect that other people see the world too, that doesn't make them bad people. That just make them different from the way you see the world. So it comes a time to where we have to come to a mature stage. Because due to our immaturity, it's not that people hate the church. They feel uncomfortable, and we that's in the church, a lot of us make them feel unwelcome. We don't really have, we don't open our arms up to them like we say we do. So I think that's the one of the biggest things for me, Shay. Just we have to really get a chance to know ourselves first.
Yeah, and again, another good point, because really the church was designed really to proclaim truth. And, when truth is the message of truth is there, then it will allow us to see the sin in us. And so, David and both Truto, you both made a great point that when we go beyond within the four walls, we should be going to get the truth, but the truth will set us free. Like
I thought you about to say beyond the fence. I thought you about to say go beyond the fence.
That truth will take you beyond your fence. That truth will take you beyond your fence. Yes. But that truth is what really does set us free, and that will cause you to go beyond your fence. So, Truto, in the last couple of minutes, what words of encouragement do you have? And I'm saying this because, again, we are not in any way bashing those who go to church within the four walls, but understanding who you are, understanding your value, understanding why you are going within the four walls, and what you can even do at home to start looking at the process of bettering yourself. Going to church does not make you a good person. I hate to, step on somebody's toes tonight when we talk about this, but going to church does not make you a good person. What words of encouragement do you have tonight, Truto?
Well, I'd like to encourage everybody. Like I said, I'm an avid churchgoer. I'm on every choir but the cheer choir. You hear me tell it all the time. But when I really came to the realization, and I say it again, when I came to the realization of why I was going and what I needed, I started to understand what I was lacking in a lot of things. And I really wanted to be a good, better husband. I wanted to be a good, better father. And I went there with a purpose of looking to get better. And when I looked for the betterment, is when people will start to tell me, hey, Jerry, you really are changing for the good. And I encourage people, know what you're lacking in and have a purpose. Have your purpose for why you go to church. And do it for you. Do it for you and do it for your family. And when you're focused on what you're there for, everything else will come together. Because good people are going to draw the good people. And we're going to get it. We're going to get it. But, know what you need. Know what you need and go.
Yeah.
Go get your.
And you know what? I do want to say this before you close it, Shay. I want to say this because you did say it. We're not here to bash. What we're here to do is uplift and build. What we're doing is not destructive; it's constructive, and it's not even about just being critical and just criticizing. No, what we're saying is we want you guys, us, in the body. We want people to be healthy all the way around the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we say the church is a hospital. So people are coming to be healed. Jesus said in the Bible, he said, I come to help those who are healed. Not the one, he said, I come to help those who are sick. Not the ones who think they're already healed. See, those who sick need a doctor. So he come to help those who are sick. If you already think you're well, then you're going to see you don't need help. So what it is, we're here to build, not tear down. So we just hope everyone take this time, just relax, take a deep breath to understand this is just coming with pure love. So it can be healthy. So you can build a real community, an atmosphere of love so people can go inside the four walls. But when they leave the four walls, just like we do in school, we hope that people go to college. So guess what? When they graduate from college, when they leave that building, those buildings, that they go out into the world and they get a job based on their degree so they can be an asset to their community. See?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and that's economically. So it's the same thing. When we come into the church, and this is weekly. You have a chance to renew your mind on a weekly basis. Yeah. All the trash that's been built up for 6 days, this is a cleansing on that seventh day. So then you can go out and be able to produce the same things that you was taught, the same thing that you had learned, the same encouragement, everything that's in there, it'll start being a part of their character. Mm-hmm. And they can go out to the community and be more effective. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
We have to be more. Yeah. We want you to be more effective in a positive way. But go ahead, Shay.
At times, and that's why I use the example of the counselors, because at times we can go into different places and come out better. And so we do want to make sure that when you're going within the four walls, like David said, that you're really getting something out of it, but understanding that you're going in it for you. The Bible says that they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth, right? And so you have to have an element of truth when you're walking within the four walls. So this may be a time, and my encouragement for someone to actually take a look at the church that you're going in. Are you being fed properly? Are you getting what you need to get out of it? Are you hurt? Are you healing? And sometimes we get so numb to the everyday going to Bible study on Wednesdays. We got to hurry up. We get into this routine, right? And like working out, when you do get into this routine, your muscles are not shocked enough for them to even do anything good for you. So you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to tone up. That's exactly what we're saying with the four walls. Go in understanding why you are there, but being a better person, being a better you, being a better self can also start with you. It doesn't have to be within the four walls. It can start with you. So that's what I'm going to say. And in my little bit of time, I do want to encourage those who are listening tonight. David and Truto, you both did an amazing job. Thank you for your input. Again, we keep saying part two, but we might have to do another part two because the music break didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The music break didn't do anything. But I do want to encourage.
Go back to it.
Yeah, I do encourage everyone tonight, if you are listening, to just reevaluate, what being good looks like for you. And we all made some great points tonight, but if you are not, and I'm not saying that paying bills is not being a good person, but look at your finances. Look at what you're doing to better your families. Look at what you're doing to better yourself, better your surroundings. Is everything looking down or is everything looking up? But it has to start with you. So start doing a gut check on your own. Check your heart. Check what the Bible talks about. If you're using the Bible as your resource, check against your heart and find out, am I a good person? And don't be afraid to do that. So that's what we're going to challenge you guys with tonight. David, any last words? We're at 12:59. Any last words? Can I close out?
I just want to tell everyone we really love you. We really do care for you. Do not get discouraged. This is not a discouraging time. We love you, and we really mean that from our hearts. But Beyond the Fence in the building, shout out to Election, Beyond the Radio, David Benton, Jerry Truto, Valley, and Shay Samuel. We will see you guys next week, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
We love you.
So,
we love you.
Yep.
Where the music at? Where the music at?
It's your boy David Benton. Hey yo, Shay. It's time to go beyond the fence. Life is so good. It's so good. Yeah. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones, you know. Yeah.
The world's greatest DJ.
It's about 8 in the morning, I'm just waking up. Got the Folgers on brew, about to fill my cup. While I'm looking out the window, the sun come up. I'm good. It's about 8 in the morning, I'm just waking up. Got the Folgers on brew, about to fill my cup. While I'm looking out the window, let the sun come up. I'm good. I'm about to get my day started. Off to work, about to make them dollars. If only you knew what I've been through, you would smile and say that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, my health is good. I thank God that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. I got food on the table, I know that He's able. Thank God I'm good. God, I'm good. I thank God I'm good.
Life is so good.
I thank God I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You are magnificent, great. Your feeling is hate. When we're ignorant, grace. So intimate place, your heart of innocence make a life different break. The soul sin and the sinning, cause the enemy hate. You are the sun, stars, and the moon. You are the beam of light when it's dark in the room. When I depart from the womb, you're the air that I breathe. Always there when I need you, preparing for peace. You're so good.
I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, and my health is good. I thank God that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. I got food on the table, I know that He's able. Thank God I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, my health is good. I thank God that I'm